Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Afro Gardener. It is a beautiful day today. It is like 52 degrees, and so it's really nice, and so I felt like it was a good time to transplant out some of the cooler weather plants because we're still having really cold nights and stuff like that. So I have my canvas bag. I think I'm gonna put it on the table actually and scoot y'all back. Jugs, and so I'm gonna be reusing some of these. This is some lettuce, so I'm gonna be putting some of this in these canvas bags. Now these canvas bags have dirt that has been in here all winter long, and that's what I'm using. I do have this potting mix that I'm gonna use to just kind of pot it up a little bit, not pot it up, but to just fill it in a little bit more, but that's it. So I'm just gonna be cutting this open. I have so many of these canvas bags, so I felt like the weather has been nice enough to where I can go ahead and transplant out some of these things. But I also have frost cloth in case, we get a freeze, because it did freeze 3 times last week. So if we do get another freeze, it'll be fine because I can just cover them. And so, I think that's about enough. Like I said, this is just some lettuce that I had planted. And I'm going to be reusing these bottles. I love to recycle. The weather is warming up, so some of the flowers and things that take kind of a long time to get going, I'm going to be planting. I wanted to do a little bit something different as far as my video goes, because I have been doing I do winter sowing like 3 weeks in a row. So I don't do that again. So I'm going to be doing this. Now, look at that. Amazing. It's doing amazing. So I'm just going to be transplanting those into this canvas bag. Now, they're really fine. I could wait till they got a little bit bigger, but I just didn't really feel like that was necessary just because they're doing so well. So I'm just taking my finger, and this is usually what I do. I'll just go lower than I feel like the root is, and I'll just pull it all out. Now you can feel the separation, but if you're just as gentle as you can, it will be just fine. And there's quite a few in here. So I have some other containers, so I'll probably just put some of these other ones in some different containers so I won't waste them. I hate wasting seedlings. That's one of them. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I hate thinning out seedlings, but it is necessary. But if I can find the space for them, I will, because I just cannot stand throwing them away, and or just throwing them out in the yard. I don't know why. I just really hate it, and I try to get the most out of my plants and things like that. Now, because it is very sunny today, after I transplant these, I will be putting them in the shade on my front porch. Whenever it's really warm or it's warmer and you do transplants, it's just, for me, it's just a rule of thumb to always place them in the shade, because even though it's not that hot, the sun can be kind of overwhelming for your transplants, and it could just they could just dry out. It doesn't take long for them to dry out. Even after you have watered them in really well, it takes like no time for them to dry out. So I'm going to be putting these. Look how beautiful. 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 Now, as I said, this is some Gustav lettuce. I bought these seeds from Baker Creek Seeds, and I really like them. I have not tasted it yet, but I really like them. I think they're very pretty, and I'm really excited to try them whenever they get a little bit bigger. The first day of spring was technically on Monday, but it was still cold last week. It was so cold. I was like, spring wear. That's really how I felt. I was like, spring wear, because it was still cold. And that's usually how it goes here in Tennessee where I live. A lot of the farmers or people that grow, gardeners that have been doing it for a long time, I belong to some groups and things like that, and many of the gardeners say don't put anything in the ground until May 1st. And I'm just like, I'm not waiting that long. So I'm just going to be sticking to these canvas bags for now until we get some more stable weather. So that one is done. I will be, I forgot about this one. And this is where my dilemma begins. Like when they're this little, obviously I can just compost them, and I just really hate doing that. I hate doing that. But anyway, let's move on. So I have my second canvas bag, and I usually fold them down, but I'm not this time. I'm just gonna fill this one up. Y'all can't even see what I'm doing. I'm gonna fill this one up. Yeah, y'all, I'm so hyped. And I'll fold it down just a little bit. There's no crowing right now because my rooster's not mad at me, so I can actually do my video without him howling in the background. Cause he be so loud. Anyway, next we have what I believe to be cabbage. Now, okay, don't judge me. Of course y'all won't. But sometimes when it gets warmer, you have several days of it being warm, sometimes your seedlings can start to suffer. And these have kind of started to suffer. So that's why I'm transplanting them out like this, because it's been kind of warm. And so with the warmth of the sun and the humidity on the inside of this bottle, it's just gotten to be a little bit too much for the seedlings inside. Now, this is what they look like. They're a little yellow, looking a little dry, but that's okay. I cannot remember what these are because I used a different marker for these, so I don't really know what they are at this time. But as they get older, as they grow, I'll be able to distinguish what exactly they are. And in comparison to a couple years ago, that's actually not bad, because one year I didn't know what I was growing. It was just stuff everywhere. I didn't know what was what. It was horrible. But not this year. Not this year. So again, I'm just going to be scooping this up, taking these out, and just loosening up the roots. That's really in essence what I'm doing, is loosening up the roots. And I'm just going to be picking the strongest. So between these two, the strongest seedling would be this one. So I'm just going to be taking this one and a few others and putting them and transplanting them into this canvas bag. All the canvas bags that I'm doing today are going to stay on my deck after they've had time to get established in these bags. I'm just going to be keeping them on my deck so I can keep a better eye on them. I can just peek out my door, and there they are. These are the seedlings that I went ahead and I transplanted. I finished doing those, and this big cabbage. Now, I know if you look closely, it may look a little wilty. They may look a little wilty or sad, and that's okay. Sometimes, whenever you take your plant from like one soil to the next, they sometimes can go through shock. Sometimes they don't, but they can look a little wilty at first, but they will perk up over time. And so I'm done with these. And the extra seedlings that I had, I went ahead and I put them in an empty space in the yard. Now, where I put them, it's very shady. On this side of my yard, it does not get a lot of sun at all. Unless it's like during the summertime, it gets a pretty good amount of sun, but that area, it's pretty good. And so I put them over there. The weather's really good. Even if it gets chilly tonight, I did cover it with frost cloth, so they should be fine. And that is the end of this video. If you guys have any questions or any comments, please leave me a comment. I love to hear from y'all. And I'll talk to y'all later.